Oh boy, you took pictures. Thank you all for being here. We'll go ahead and get started. Thanks for your patience. We've had an awesome time telling stories already and walking down memory lane. It's been a lot of fun, as it always is with Duane. But good afternoon. I'm Andrew Gavin, the Director of Athletics here at Parkside. Welcome to the university. Welcome to the Sports and Activity Center. And welcome to this beautiful, as of today, Duane McLean Sports Leadership Center. This is an exciting day for our university to renovate this space in honor of Duane McLean, UW-Parkside class of 1986 and former Ranger student athlete. Over the course of the past 2 weeks, we have completed significant renovations to this room, which serves the needs of the athletics department and our colleagues in the health, exercise science, and sport management department. This shared space will serve both of our needs, all of our needs, incredibly well. The Duane McLean Sports Leadership Center will host undergraduate classes, graduate classes, staff meetings, team meetings, faculty meetings, special events, and student athlete advisory committee meetings. Our students and our student athletes will benefit dramatically from these improvements. Chavaris Flanagan is a current student athlete and a member of our men's basketball team. Last spring, he graduated from UW-Parkside with a bachelor's degree in sport management. Currently, he is enrolled in our new master's program in sport management, which in just its second year has tripled in size from year one and continues to grow and become a prize of the university. So here to represent our students and tell you a little bit about the student impact of this space, we welcome Chavaris Flanagan.
Thank you, Andrew. Like I said, thank you to Mr. McLean for a wonderful donation to this. I mean, the room was completely different. This is actually my first time seeing it like this. I have class in here for my master's program, and it was just a big long table, and well, it didn't look good, no logos, not much space to sit or to do anything. And now we have events like this, have classes, we have something to show our recruits, and it's just a great addition to the building. We have TVs in here, great athletes on the side, especially that guy over there. And you know, tables in the back, I mean, you can do so many things with this, and it's such a wonderful opportunity for us. And I just, once again, thank you from me and on behalf of all the students and student athletes. Andrew actually told me a brief history of you, and good things, and it was really inspiring. He told me you're alumni here, you were also a student athlete just like me, and that you started off as an intern for the Pistons, and I know a lot like me is going to be in the real world soon, so that scared me, like, okay, he's only an intern, but then he told me how as you worked and kept keeping pace and doing what you love to do, that now you work toward multiple pro teams, and now you've been with the Tigers for 30 years, I believe. 15 years, I'm sorry, 30 years in professional sports.
Yeah, over 30 years in professional sports.
So that's, I think, me and I think most guys in here, most students that I have class with want to be in the future. And since you being an alumni, gave back. I mean, that doesn't happen, I don't think, as much as it should. And
well, they make it very hard not to.
That's good. And I'm glad, because
they're very good at what they do.
They are, and I think this could be a great start for other alumni and students like me in the future, that once they get out there in the real world and they have an opportunity to get back, that they do to Parkside. So thank you. And also thank you to Andrew, thank you to all the staff for making my experience here great. I mean, the GAs, the coaches, you guys just, like, this stuff here is just, I feel like it happens once a month, like the Hall of Fame downstairs, there's so many new things happening, and it's turning the place around, and I think, and this room is a great example for that. So thank you to you all.
Thank you very much. So I've been fortunate to serve in my role since August of 2017, and just 3 weeks into the role, maybe against my better judgment as a husband, because Ashley was 37 weeks pregnant, I think, at the time. I was really fortunate to have the opportunity to join Vice Chancellor John Jaroszewski on a trip to Detroit to meet Duane. And as someone who had just recently stepped into a leadership role, as I had at Parkside, I read through Duane's bio, like Chip did today, and was thrilled to have the chance not only to meet him, but to learn his story. What an opportunity for me to learn from Duane, soak everything up that I could from him. I've tried to do that again in my 2 subsequent trips to Detroit to spend more time with him since, and I can't say enough about how his advice, his stories, his experiences have been
not the one I told in the not the one I just told.
Different experiences. They've really shaped a lot of our work, and it's been really fun to use what's happening in Comerica Park and think, how can we scale that? How can we do that here at Parkside? And it's been fun to do that. A Detroit native, Duane transferred to Parkside to play baseball after attending the University of Miami down in Florida. He quickly became a leader in the baseball program, served as team captain, and unofficially as an assistant coach, a fundraiser, which we just talked a little bit about, and an advocate for the baseball program, pushing for the program to get what they deserve and what they need. He went out in the community by himself and raised funds to improve the dugouts. One of those dugouts at the stadium right now, the money was raised by Duane McLean as a student. He drove team vans not only for baseball but for other programs, and he earned the nickname Coach because of his leadership skills. After he graduated in 1986, Duane returned to Detroit and started, as Chavaris mentioned, as a ticket sales intern with the Detroit Pistons. While supporting his young family, despite making just intern pay, Duane went to work, and he went to work hard, competing with the other interns with only one job available to the whole group. He put his head down, never a doubt in his mind that he would be the one that was hired by the Pistons. That's a testament to Parkside. It's a testament to the education he received here. It's a testament to his time as a student athlete. It's certainly a testament to the positive impact of his coach, Ken Red Overbrunner. And of course, more than anything, it's a testament to Duane. Duane's gone on to work in professional sports for more than 3 decades. He holds 5 championship rings in pro sports. He progressed through his career while working with the Detroit Pistons, the Houston Rockets, the Detroit Lions, the Seattle Seahawks, and now the Detroit Tigers. He has worked for the Tigers since 2003, currently in the role of Executive Vice President of Business Operations. Win or lose, postseason, no postseason, someone on the Detroit Tigers staff is responsible for the profitability and the world-class fan experience for the Detroit Tigers. That's Duane McLean. Let's consider a little bit of the scope of Duane's job. He oversees all sales, park operations, capital improvements, safety and security, customer service, ticket services, public and community affairs, marketing, broadcasting, communications, digital media, human resources, business, legal, Lakeland operations, finance and administration, informational technology promotions, and in-game entertainment.
Jeez, when you say it like that.
Makes you tired of work. And I've had the chance to literally stand behind Duane while he worked and during game day on I think what was a 17-hour day. And there's probably things I left out.
There were a couple, but I'm glad you didn't mention them because it was overwhelming.
Getting the chance to know Duane and hear his story, it has been a gift that I treasure. And I know John Jay would echo that, as they've built a strong friendship over the course of nearly the last 5 years. John Jay and I agree with Chancellor Ford. Duane's story is too important to Parkside to keep to ourselves. It's important to our student athletes. It's important to our students. It's important to our faculty in sport management, to our coaches, to our staff in athletics, to our university, and to future generations of Rangers. It's important we have alignment between Parkside Athletics and our colleagues in the Health, Exercise Science, and Sport Management Department. It's important because it is a sign of progress that as a university and an athletics department, we are striving to make improvements to better serve our students and our mission. It's important because it highlights how the generosity, as Shavaris mentioned, of our alumni can be so powerfully and so positively impactful on the services we provide our students. And finally, it is important to tell Duane's story to our recruits, our prospective students, our student athletes, and our graduating seniors that might be scared to death to be the next ticketer in turn with the Detroit Pistons. In the end, renovating and dedicating this space as the Duane McLean Sports Leadership Center is more than a room, although it is certainly beautiful and transformational. This room is an ongoing testament to perseverance, teamwork, leadership, and pride. And Duane, your Parkside roots are now firmly planted in this program. Your impact on professional sports, your colleagues, and those like me that you've helped along the way will be remembered in this space. And we thank you for your generosity, support, and allowing us to tell your story. And we please welcome Duane McLean.
Pretty good speech, Andrew. I want to thank Chancellor Ford, Debbie. We had dinner at by my house in Bloomfield Hills, and she said, "Don't call me Chancellor Ford, call me Debbie." So, special lady. She's done a terrific job here. And Andrew, you guys are so fortunate to have Andrew. What a remarkable young man. And he's going to do great things here. And then Andrew mentioned John Jaroszewski, and what a special guy that guy is. And I've had fortunate to become friends with all three of those people, and Parkside is heading in the right direction. As Andrew knows, I like to fly under the radar screen. Damn it, if it wasn't for John, nobody even knew where I was. They didn't even know what I accomplished, which is a tribute to John and his efforts. But there are a lot of Parkside grads out there that have done remarkable things, and Parkside is now starting to connect with these people and find these people, and their stories are very similar to mine. You're talking about first-generation college students for the most part that come from hardworking families and just trying to get ahead. And I try to tell people that you don't have to go to Harvard to be great. You don't have to go to Harvard or Yale to be special. I have people that I interview all the time that are Ivy League grads or University of Michigan grads, and depending on the position I'm looking for, and the graduates don't know the culture of that particular area. They don't know the approach of the leader of that department and what skills are necessary. And so that piece of paper gets you through my door, whether it's a Parkside piece of paper or a Yale piece of paper. And after you sit down, I'm not hiring Yale, and I'm not hiring your piece of paper. I'm hiring you. And that's where your perseverance, your passion, your desire, your tenacity, your will to succeed comes through. And I don't care if you went to Oakland University or you went to Oklahoma State University. In fact, I'd hire more people, I'm a little biased that way, if they're from Parkside or from Oakland University than if they were from another school. Because first generation kids that come from Parkside, it's a harder road. And so you know they have character, and you know they have a strong desire to achieve, be successful, and make something of themselves. And so my story is no different than many of the other people. I've just been blessed and very fortunate. I've worked extremely hard. I've kept my feet grounded. Like I said, I'm not big on attention. I would prefer not. But I am humbled and very appreciative of it. And I hope this room does everything that you hope it will for you. And I will continue to support the university as I can. And I'm proud to have graduated from Parkside. Helped make me who I am. And coming back, baby, remember, I've lived a whirlwind life. You guys cannot believe what I've seen and what I've done and the people I know, and none of that crap even matters to me, but you guys be blown away by what I've done in my life and the people I've seen and what I've been able to accomplish. And I told Andrew one time, I just put my head down. I had no money, I was poor. And I ran as hard as I could run. And I was afraid to look back because, and one time my dad sat me down, he goes, my God, look how far you made it. He goes, can you just stop and smell the roses? And I go, no, I'm afraid to look back. And now in my life, I'm looking back. And when he rattled off all that stuff, and I look, I don't even realize it half the time. I just keep moving and doing the right thing. Treat people right, do the right thing, be respectful. Good things will happen to you if you do things the right way. You work hard. God helps those who help themselves. And you'll overcome adversity. And as I stand here today, you should understand that anything's possible. You can limit yourself. The world can't. You just push, you do things the right way, and all your dreams can come true too. So again, I want to thank you. You did a remarkable job. What a remarkable young man. And I hope that all your dreams come true and that you become everything that you want to be and you reach your full potential. And don't ever let anybody tell you you can't. So thank you.
So Duane, thank you. Thank you.
You made me cry, Deb.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But it's all worth it. And thank you for taking time to look back and look back at the influence of the University of Wisconsin-Parkside on your life. We are richer because of your engagement with our university, certainly as a student, as a graduate, as an outstanding alumni, as a scholarship investor, and now as an investor to help.
I failed to mention that, but can I interrupt you for a second?
Please.
I am most proud of that.
Yes, yes.
That scholarship.
Yes, in honor of your coach. And so thank you for that. And thank you for your investment to create the Duane McLean Sports Leadership Center here at UW-Parkside.
You're welcome.
This is so important to us to be able to have a learning environment that inspires our students to be their best selves and to reach that potential and to make sure that folks don't let those barriers get in their way. They keep working through those. And so I want to thank you. I also want to thank you for taking John's call a few years ago and for taking time to be with us and to host us and to really help and inspire us to do our best work. With friends and alumni like you, I know that our future here at the University of Wisconsin-Parkside continues to be very, very, very bright. Our alumni tell me, they start with this: if not for Parkside, Duane wouldn't have had 3 decades in professional sports. It's those experiences that we have here. This room will shape those opportunities. And so thank you for that. So Duane, I have a question. As you were talking, I'm seeing so many of our students here.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to take a few questions
Sure.
from our students? Because I
Sure.
think your story is so compelling. One of our goals in our impact, Ranger Impact, one of those, the T stands for telling our story. And so I would invite our students this afternoon, we have a few minutes before we need to go to the Student Center. If any of you have any questions, You want to hear what Duane, from Duane specifically, our faculty who are here. So I'm going to invite you to, let's have a little Q&A. This is all script.
All right.
But I know you
Well,
can do it.
I will tell them that back in the day, professional sports wasn't what professional sports is today. Now it's private-public partnerships where people build facilities. It's either city, county, state, and the funds come, and then there's a lease, let's say 30 years lease, and then you operate these facilities, and all the departments you mentioned, including parking, which people forget about, but it's a huge money maker. But parking's a huge department and a lot of moving parts. But what you used to do in the old days is the county, the city, or the state would own the facility. You'd be a renter in the facility. So to get into professional sports, there was only about 40 people in the front office. Now I have probably 350, 400 employees. And so it was very, very difficult to get in. And so they had this program, and I knew I was an athlete, obviously, and I played football and baseball. And a guy on my street worked with this, and he said, well, you can have this internship. It's during the summer, and we hire 12 people, and we keep watch. And it was $50 a week. No health care. And I had a wife and a newborn. And my wife was not happy. In fact, how are we going to take care of our... And I said, well, I'm either going to join the military or I'm going to do this. Because I got to do something I believe in, otherwise I'm not going to be very good at it. And they lined us up against a table with a chair and masking tape, masking tape, elbow to elbow, and a rotary phone. They don't even have those anymore. And they said, have at it. You're selling tickets. I put my head down on that table like this. I put the phone on the ground. I dialed it. I had a stack of leads this high. I had a crease on it at the end of the day. I had a can of chewing tobacco. And I had my spit cup there, and I just sat there and spit in the cup, and I dialed, and I dialed, and I dialed, and I dialed. And then I would talk to her, and she was next to me, and I'd say, hey, Debbie, how's things going with your family? And she'd start talking, and I just kept dialing. I'd distract them all. Right? And then now Debbie would talk to this person and talk to that person. Before you know it, they're all talking, and while they're talking, I'm just dialing.
You're calling, I'm building relationships.
And so that's where I started. I started at the very, very bottom. No one handed me anything. And that's why I became as good at what I currently do, because I did every single one of those jobs. So,
Questions?
Don't be shy. Name.
So,
Major. Name. Major.
Casey Oliver, Communication,
Great.
Minor Public Relations. What was
Casey,
your major
right?
when you went here, and did you attend grad school?
Yeah, I went to grad school. Can somebody do me a favor with their phone and tell me what the score of the Oklahoma TCU football game was?
Are you an Oklahoma fan?
Not a fan. I'm a master's grad at the University of Oklahoma. I'm not giving them any money.
That's great.
So, what was the other part of your question?
What was your major while you were here?
I was a political science major.
Okay.
Yeah. When I came home, tried a couple other things like I think kids change their major on average, was it 3 times, 4 times?
Today?
In today's day and age.
Oh, it's like 6 or 7.
Is it? Really?
Yes.
So I had some other ones. And so I came home one day and I told my dad, and of course, you guys know you're committed to a sport, right? I practiced all the time. I was a captain of the team. Captain of the team, a lot of responsibility. You got to be the best player. You got to work hard. You got to set an example. So we practice. We go. I can't study all the time. I didn't have a passion for it anyway. I'm gonna be honest with you. I showed Andrew. I graduated from this school with a 2.6 grade point average. My master's degree, I graduated with it. I showed Andrew 4.0. It wasn't that I couldn't do it. I just wasn't. My head wasn't in that space at that particular time. So I was a political science major. I had a passion for the subject matter. My dad and mom did not. I remember, what the hell are you going to do with that? And I said, don't worry about it. I got that handled. I need to check the box here. Remember we talked about, I need to check the box, and then I'm going to show the world what I can do. I'm going to give them what they need, but once I'm done giving them what they need, I'm going to take that out here, because I have to have it, and then I'm going to let the world know what I'm made of and what I can accomplish. So they didn't have sports management. Sports management didn't come around and become a commonplace major until the last 10, 15 years. One school, Ohio University, was probably on the cutting edge of that many, many years ago. But people didn't have it. It didn't exist. So people that do what I do from my generation, this guy was an English major, this gal was a humanities major, communications major. So it's a little bit different this day. But understand this. When you come in front of me for a job interview and you don't have a degree in sports management, if you do, great. But I'm not going to necessarily discard you if you don't, depending on the particular discipline that you're trying to apply for within our organization.
One more question.
Yes.
Jared Rossiano, marketing major.
Yep.
Would you say so far your time with the Tigers has been the best out of all the other organizations?
Ooh, good question. I've lost 2 owners I worked for Paul Allen when I worked for the Seahawks. I was a project manager on the current Seahawks Stadium. Imploded the Kingdom, which is the previous stadium, and then built the new facility. And he passed away the other day. And then I worked for Mike Ilitch, who owned the Pistons and the Red Wings. He was my boss, and of course he passed away last year. Each one of them were different. If you ask me a question, which sports did you prefer to work in? Football. You might think, oh, you love football. I do, but that isn't the issue. 10 home games. And the pay is the same. And people say, oh, isn't each sport different? No. No, marketing's marketing, sales is sales. Like Andrew said, everything's scalable. There isn't a thing that Andrew's doing here that I don't do. And that's why our relationship is going to be so beneficial to him. It's all scalable. So I won NBA championship with the Rockets, 2 NBA championships with the Pistons, NBA champion. We went to the World Series twice, 2006, 2012 with the Tigers, but fortunately we lost. So my favorite team other than Tigers are the Brewers because of my connection to this state, and my friends like Scott cheer for the Brewers, and my friends Mark Antonassi, owner of the Brewers, and my counterpart Rick Schlesinger are terrific people, and I hope the Brewers pull it out tonight. Because I took so much time before, I've just eaten up all the oxygen, right? And then you got to go.
No, we're good.
No.
We're good. Let's another big round of applause for Duane.
I didn't answer your question, young man, but the most rewarding is working for the Tigers, because the Tigers have set the record for the most losses in the history of the American League. And baseball's been around since 1901, and there's been some bad owners, and there's been some bad managers, and some bad players. But the Detroit Tigers set the record for the most losses in the history of baseball. And then I wrote a letter, because I was watching TV, and Mike Ilitch was on TV, and he had won so many Stanley Cups with the Detroit Red Wings. And I've never done it before, and I've never done it since. So I wrote him a letter, thinking, they're killing the guy. On late night talk shows, Bad News Bears, embarrassing, this, that, and the other. So I wrote it, and I sent it. Phone rings, and I understand I'm working for Paul Allen, 3rd wealthiest man in the world at that time. And it rings, and the assistant says, it's Mike Ilitch on the phone. I'm like, oh, Mike Ilitch. And of course, I'm working for Paul Allen, right? But I'm from Detroit, so I pick up the phone, and he said, small talk. You can imagine, I'm not getting many letters like this. And most of the letters I am getting, I can't repeat all the words that are in them. And I said, we had a nice chat, hung up the phone. He called back a week later and said, would you consider coming home and having a chat with me about the Tigers? And I said, I can't, I got a game, but we got an off week, I'll go. I went home, sat down with him. He wanted me to come back and help him fix it. I went home, talked to my wife. My wife wanted to go home. My father passed away while I was gone. I took her to Houston. I took her to Seattle. You can't get farther from Detroit, Michigan than Seattle, big city in Seattle, Washington. I didn't. I wanted to go help, but 81 home games, 162 games. There isn't anybody in the state of Michigan that works more hours than I do, and I've told Andrew that, and that's a fact. But being able to go home to my hometown team and make an impact and turn something that was so embarrassing into something into a point of pride, that's probably my greatest accomplishment. I'm sorry I took so long for that.
We love this. So this evening, Duane will also be inducted into the Ranger Athletic Hall of Fame, and so congratulations on that. And so we want this celebration to continue, and what I am going to hope is that the students who will be using this room, the faculty who will be using this room, the staff. We will think about Duane McLean and his story and be inspired by his story, really to never give up and to do and think about things differently. I am very much looking forward to our commencement ceremony in December, because this is where we line up. The deans and our speaker and the regents, we line up in this space, and I cannot wait to showcase the Duane McLean Sports Leadership Center here at UW-Parkside with my colleagues and my peers. And I also need to say thank you to Andrew and his team here at UW-Parkside. Because of your vision, we are able to do something almost monthly, right?
Yeah.
And it is our joy and really our commitment to provide the best experience for our student athletes. And that's what we are on a mission to do. And we appreciate all that you do for us as student athletes and our faculty and staff. But thank you for your leadership, thank you for your vision, and thank you for connecting with Duane so that we can create this beautiful seminar room, the Sports Leadership Center, in honor of Duane McLean. So congratulations and thank you. And I'm sure you want to take a few photos, especially with this great group of young men in the back.
And thank you all
so
for
some
coming.
photos.
I really appreciate it.
So-
I'm touched by your being here, and I hope you understand that. Thank you.
Another round of applause.
All of these young men would love to introduce themselves to you, so we certainly,
Got all the
our staff, we don't have time. Duane has time, so, but thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.